In my Scott Pilgrim review, when I said that I have never played a Mario game, that wasn't entirely true. I played Yoshi's Island at a friend's house a few times when I was little, and I've also played the Super Mario crossover Flash game. However, I rarely played as Mario in the crossover game, as he's probably the worst character available. Mario doesn't have the advantages of the other Nintendo characters, and his controls are incredibly slippery. Mega Man is also very slippery and prone to falling down cliffs if your reflexes aren't fast enough, but at least he can shoot with his hand cannon without a fire flower. Samus, the guy from Contra, and Sophia the Third have much more precise movements and can shoot in multiple directions from the get-go, so Mario would seem to have been outclassed in his own game. The Mario franchise has just never really appealed to me. It does undeniably have a cartoony, whimsical charm, but it's just too silly and absurd for my taste, with its constantly revised story of an Italian plumber venturing through a kingdom of mushrooms to save his princess girlfriend from a giant fire-breathing turtle who isn't Gamera. I prefer video games with some level of plausibility, however small. And before you start, yes, a man who makes portals out of books, an asteroid ship whisking us off to an alien world, a theoretical physicist battling teleporting aliens, a cop who can fight in bullet time, a hero fighting demons, and a reanimated corpse, the sentient internet, and the voodoo Illuminati, all hunting for a little girl, are all more grounded in reality than Mario games. These other games all draw upon science fiction, mythology, or pop culture, but Mario seems to be immersed in its own zany, hyperactive fantasy world. I've got nothing against the Mario franchise, it's just too far removed from reality to interest me. So, given my indifference to and near, but not complete, ignorance of the Mario franchise, I thought I could deliver a fresh, unbiased perspective on the 1995 Super Mario Bros. Movie. Having seen it, I can now tell you how stupid and incompetently made it is on its own merits. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo play Mario and Luigi, two brothers who work as plumbers in Brooklyn. When Luigi befriends Daisy, a paleontology student, the brothers are plunged into an alternate dimension where dinosaurs evolved into humans and are targeted by its tyrannical leader King Koopa, Dennis Hopper. The film's alternate dimension, known as Dino Hatton, has to be the laziest setting in cinematic history. As I mentioned before, the dinosaurs in the other dimension survived and evolved into human-like creatures, but the people in this dimension look no different from regular people. Both Maven of the Eventide and my good friend Victor have commented on how unmonstrous the vampires and werewolves in Underworld feel, but hardly any of the actors playing citizens of Dino Hatton have any makeup or prosthetics to hint at their dinosaur ancestry. The people of Dino Hatton don't feel the least bit saurian, and the setting looks like any other generic, dingy future city. The entire production is incredibly cheap. The action lacks energy, the car chases and pyrotechnics are lame, and the puppetry is pretty poor, with the exception of the fairly realistic Yoshi model. In the film, the asteroids that we believe killed off the dinosaurs actually split our universe into two, which is strangely reminiscent of the nuclear bomb blast sending people back in time in Megamorphs No. 2, a book involving dinosaurs. At one point, Daisy, Samantha Mathis, states that this asteroid crashed into Brooklyn 65 million years ago, but if you know anything about dinosaurs, which most of the film's young boy target audience would, you'd know that the asteroid that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs landed in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo have some good chemistry together as two brothers who tease each other yet still love each other. However, Leguizamo and Samantha Mathis, as Daisy, Luigi's love interest, have no chemistry whatsoever, and their performances are awkward and flat, respectively. The dialogue is perfunctory, most of the jokes don't work, and the pacing lags severely, with long, dull stretches and plot points that jump in without warning. You quickly forget the conflict amid all the hijinks with Mario and Luigi. A tongue-in-cheek film like this doesn't need extra comic relief, but this film still has it in the form of King Koopa's pointless, really obnoxious cousins. King Koopa wants to merge the dimensions so that he can take over our world and use its resources, but he also holds a grudge against mammals that doesn't make any sense, especially since he clearly looks like a mammal. Dennis Hopper is doing his best in this role, but he just isn't threatening. And I guess this is another failed villain role for Dennis Hopper. Oh snap! Ultimately, Super Mario Bros. Is a terrible movie. The dialogue and performances are mostly poor, the action is weak, the humor fails miserably, the effects are rubbish, the villain is not at all intimidating, and the film's world is undefined and incredibly stupid. Super Mario Bros. Earns 1.5 stars out of 5. Thank you for watching. Cheers.